Hello, welcome to the Motivational Stories podcast. I am your host, Ricky Lahiri, and today's story is called Jesus Christ and the Lost Coin. The midday sun beat down mercilessly on the dusty streets of Capernaum. Sweat beaded on Jesus' brow as he navigated the throngs gathered around him. Drawn by whispers of his teachings and miracles, a sea of faces pressed in, yearning for a touch, a word, a glimpse of the divine. Disciples, weary but resolute, flanked him, their faces etched with concern. Suddenly, a commotion erupted at the fringes of the crowd. A woman, small in stature but fierce in determination, pushed her way through, her voice rising above the murmurs. It was Martha, a resident of Capernaum, known for her sharp wit and fiery spirit. "Master Jesus," she called, her voice laced with desperation. "I need your help." Jesus stopped, his gaze meeting hers. Recognition flickered in his eyes. Martha had been a frequent visitor to his teachings, her restless soul searching for answers. "What troubles you, Martha?" he asked gently. "Lord," she began, her voice wavering, "I have lost something precious. A drachma, a silver coin, enough to feed my family for a week." A hush fell over the crowd. A single drachma wasn't a fortune, but for those living on the precipice of poverty, it was a lifeline. Jesus listened patiently as Martha described the coin, a wedding gift from her late husband, a cherished symbol of their union. She spoke of the frantic search, turning their humble home upside down, the despair that settled with each passing moment. "It's more than just the money, Master," she choked back a sob. "It's the memory it holds. A reminder of a love lost, a life half lived." Jesus didn't offer a quick fix. He understood the depth of her loss, the intertwining of financial hardship with emotional pain. He looked at his disciples, their faces reflecting a mixture of sympathy and apprehension. "Peter, James, John," he addressed them, "come with me." The three disciples, used to Jesus' impromptu departures, followed him into Martha's modest dwelling. As they entered, the cramped atmosphere, thick with the scent of dust and stale bread, pressed in on them. Jesus cast a gentle glance around the room. A threadbare rug covered the rough-hewn floor, a single table stood in the center, and a meager collection of cooking utensils hung on the wall. "Martha," he said, his voice filled with quiet strength, "would you allow us to help you search?" Martha, surprised by the offer, nodded tearfully. The disciples, accustomed to Jesus' pronouncements and healings, seemed uncertain. Peter, ever the voice of reason, murmured, "Master, wouldn't it be faster to use our gifts to find the coin?" Jesus smiled enigmatically. "Sometimes, Peter," he replied, "the greatest treasures are found not through miracles, but through perseverance and faith." The next few hours were arduous. Jesus and the disciples meticulously combed through the cramped space, turning furniture, lifting rugs, peering into every nook and cranny. Martha, fueled by a sliver of hope, joined the search, her movements growing more frantic with each passing moment. Discouragement settled like a shroud. The silence in the house was broken only by the sigh of disappointment after disappointment. Peter, his brow furrowed, finally spoke. "Master," he said, a hint of frustration in his voice, "perhaps we should." Jesus held up a hand, silencing him. A gentle smile touched his lips. "Not yet, Peter. We haven't looked everywhere." His gaze fell on a large, ornately carved chest in one corner. It was likely a family heirloom, passed down through generations. Martha, hesitant, approached the chest. That's my father's chest," she stammered. "I doubt the coin would be there." Jesus met her eyes, a knowing glint in his own. "Open it, Martha," he said softly. Martha, with trembling hands, did as instructed. Dust motes danced in the dim light that filtered through a small window. Inside the chest, nestled amongst faded garments and tarnished silverware, lay the missing drachma. A gasp escaped Martha's lips. Tears welled up in her eyes, a mixture of relief and astonishment. She snatched it up, holding it close to her chest. I don't understand," she stammered, her voice thick with emotion. "How did it get there?" Jesus smiled, his gaze sweeping over the room. "Perhaps, Martha, the coin never truly left your possession. Sometimes, the things we seek most desperately are hidden in plain sight, obscured by the dust of doubt and the shadows of despair." His words resonated with a deeper meaning. It wasn't just about the coin, it was about the journey of rediscovery. The frantic search had served a purpose, forcing them to confront the clutter, both physical and emotional, that filled their lives. Martha, her heart brimming with gratitude, turned to Jesus. "Thank you, Master," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "You've given me back more than just a coin. You've given me hope." Jesus placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "The hope, Martha, has always been within you. We were merely instruments, guiding you to see it for yourself." As they emerged from the house, the afternoon sun cast long shadows across the dusty streets. The crowd, still buzzing with anticipation, awaited their return. Jesus raised his hand for silence. "People of Capernaum," he began, his voice clear and strong. "Today, we witnessed a miracle of a different kind." He recounted the story of the lost coin, not focusing on the frantic search, but on the perseverance and the act of looking within. He spoke of how our most precious possessions, our faith, our strength, and our hope, can sometimes lie dormant, hidden beneath layers of doubt and despair. His words resonated with the crowd. Faces that had been etched with worry softened with understanding. A collective sigh of release rippled through the throng. An old woman, her face weathered by time and hardship, stepped forward. "Master," she croaked, her voice trembling, "perhaps I too have lost something precious." Others echoed her sentiment, sharing stories of lost dreams, unfulfilled desires, and a gnawing sense of emptiness. Jesus listened patiently, his eyes filled with compassion. "My friends," he said finally, "the treasures you seek are not lost. They are waiting to be rediscovered. Look within yourselves, with faith and an open heart. You might be surprised by what you find." That day, under the scorching Capernaum sun, Jesus didn't just find a lost coin. He ignited a spark of hope in the hearts of many. He reminded them that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the strength of the human spirit, the resilience of faith, and the unwavering belief in the possibility of rediscovering the treasures hidden within. The story of the lost coin became a parable, whispered through generations, a reminder that sometimes the greatest miracles are the ones we create for ourselves. Thank you for listening. If you like the stories I tell, please follow the podcast and subscribe to it to get the latest notifications about the release of episodes. You can also follow me on X, previously known as Twitter, to get the latest notifications regarding episodes. I have provided a link to my X profile in the description section of the episode and the podcast.